What's up guys, I'm back. I got another video for you guys, and like I promised in the last video, I have the DJI Mavic Air. So let's get into it. So the DJI Mavic Air is DJI's newest iteration of their Mavic series, and it sits right in between the DJI Mavic Pro and the DJI Spark. So a lot of us aren't quite sure why DJI would do something like this, considering at this point I feel like that DJI is its own competitor, and it is insane with what they're doing right now in the drone industry. And I mean, to be honest, they are the drone industry, but that's a whole nother conversation. Let's talk about the DJI Mavic Air. So I got the DJI Mavic Air in the mail a few days ago, and I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't excited. It's probably my favorite drone that I've had between the Spark, the Mavic Pro, and the Phantom 3 standard. I had all those drones. Yeah, this is probably my most favorite drone that I've owned so far. So the DJI Mavic Air, like I said, shares a lot of the qualities of the Mavic Pro and the Spark. The DJI Mavic Air shares pretty much kind of the same fold in, fold out idea that the Mavic Pro has, and it has portability, it has the quieter ESCs that you'll see in the DJI Mavic Pro Platinum, and it also has the 3-axis gimbal for the camera. So about the camera is actually the same type of camera that we'll see, or has the same sensor as in the Mavic Pro. The only difference here is that it does record at 100 megabits per second, which means you get a lot more detailed shots versus the 60 megabits per second you get on the Mavic Pro, which is still really, really good. You get a lot of the really sharp shots, and I know that I've had to lower the sharpening settings on the Mavic Pro myself, but it's just nice to have that extra, I guess, cushion to work with in post when you're worried about detail or footage falling apart. With 100 megabits per second, I think you're less likely to run into that problem. So as far as size goes, the DJI Mavic Air is tiny. I mean, here's the drone. It is insane how they just packed everything that we have in the Mavic Pro in here. It is about, I don't want to say half the size, but it definitely might be. I know it's definitely half the weight. This is a drone. It's tiny. It just fits. I have an iPhone 7 for you guys. So here. So for size comparison, this is the iPhone 7 Plus. This is a DJI Mavic Air. This is the iPhone 10. This is a Mavic Air. Wow, that is insane. So aside from the camera specs, the DJI Mavic Air does have two pretty significant shortcomings compared to the Mavic Pro. It does have a shorter flight time and shorter flight range. So the Mavic Air tops out at 2.5-ish miles, while the Mavic Pro tops out at about 4. And the battery life on the Mavic Air actually lasts about 6 minutes shorter than the Mavic Pro. So 21 minutes on the Mavic Air and about 27 minutes on the Mavic Pro. And depending on the weather conditions, the wind, I burped. Whoa, that was a weird burp. And depending on the wind and the weather conditions, those flight times are gonna vary. So I took this drone up by the lake by my house, and I must say, this is probably one of the most stable drones I've ever flown. The Mavic Air features 2 front-facing sensors and 2 rear sensors, 2 bottom sensors, and then, well, that's it. And GPS. So that's about 2 more sensors than the Mavic Pro had. The Mavic Pro did not have rear sensors, so flying this thing gave me a lot of peace of mind. Even though I know I won't be hitting anything flying backwards, it's just nice to have, just in case it does get blown in the wind or something, and there's a tree right behind it. It's nice. And another cool thing about this drone is that it does feature DJI's new APAS system, which stands for Assistive Pilot Automatic System. Automated System Autopilot. Something like that. It avoids obstacles. So basically how it works is you can go straight in one continuous motion and never stop, and the drone will see obstacles in front of it and create a route before it gets too close and find a way around that obstacle, and it just does it over and over and over for each and every obstacle until there's just nowhere for it to go, and then it just stops. And I think that's pretty cool. So another thing that I did notice is that this drone is not that quiet. So the Mavic Pro was pretty loud as well, but if you switched out the propellers with the low decibel propellers, that actually made a world of difference. So the DJI Mavic Air does feature the newer ESCs, similar to the ones that we see on the Platinum Pro, but it does not have the low decibel propellers, and that's something that I think I would probably love to see out on the market for this drone. So let's jump into the controller. The controller is pretty cool. It's very reminiscent of the DJI Spark and of course the Mavic itself, other than the LCD screen that is missing from the front. One of the upgrades that they did do with this controller is that they were able to hide the joysticks right underneath here, so that it's a whole lot easier for you to put in your bag. All you have to do is take them out, screw them on, and you're good to go. Oh, and they did include extras, so if you did for whatever reason lose the joysticks, you do have 2 extras in there. Yeah, don't lose them. So overall, I think the Spark is a really great drone, and it's a great mid-level drone. I don't want to say that it's for beginners, and it's definitely not for movies or anything like that, but it is a great drone to use for all those aerial cinematic shots. I highly recommend it if you're on the market for a new drone. And to be honest, if you have a Pro, keep it. If you like it, keep it, because there's really not a whole lot of a difference other than the higher bitrate and the sensors, and of course all of the Spark's features, which I'm not going to get into. I mean, I personally felt that those were kind of just little gimmicky features, like, ooh, look, I'm a Jedi, I'm a Jedi. I'm sorry, but the Air does support that, so if you're into that, go crazy. Okay, well, that's the end of the video. I hope this wasn't too all over the place. I didn't write a script for this or anything like that, so I hope it turned out okay. Let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you down in the comments. Peace.